Yeah, my name is John Fehling, and I'm currently in Arvada, Colorado, which is a suburb of Denver. And back in college, I had the opportunity to be part of a campus television studio. I was initially a technician, a camera operator, and even directed some shows. And I thought that was really cool. That was kind of like a student position, and at the time, though, I was pre-med. So I actually seriously thought about changing majors, but it was a little too late. So I completed my pre-med and medical degree, and I was a family physician for 30 years in Tampa Bay, Florida area. In 2016, I moved up to Colorado, and that was kind of where my wife and I wanted to end up. And then I tried to think of what I wanted to do after medicine. Initially, I looked to see if there were other medicine opportunities to do, but I didn't find anything that I really liked. So I was kind of spinning my wheels and trying to think of what else to do as I was kind of semi-retired. But certainly I wasn't ready to stop. I'm usually a very productive person. So after I got done with most of the home repairs and maintenance, I started looking to see what I could do. And so I actually started trying to transfer some of my own video things that I had done. I've always been interested in photography and videography, and of course, videotaped all kinds of family events and my daughter as she was growing up through her sports and everything. And I even did some editing, but I didn't have a lot of projects to do because I was working with my own things. So I was in the process of transferring or trying to transfer some of my own stuff to modern formats, and I ran into a snag where my equipment wasn't working well. So I started looking to see if I could have things fixed or buy new things. And I actually stumbled upon someone who had purchased a VCR for his home business called Home Video Studio. So I said, what the heck is that? So within that first 2 days, I had pretty much really researched what Home Video Studio was. I ran into all the information about Robert and the company. And actually about 2 days after I first looked into it, I actually called Robert. And he answered the phone. The owner of the company answered the phone, and we had a nice discussion. And it turns out that there was a studio owner that was in my general area, but he had recently retired. So the opportunity actually was there for me to proceed. So, one of the hardest part was actually just convincing my wife, because it was of course a major change in occupation, and of course there's a financial commitment to get started in a business. So I filled out an application with Robert, and he also gave me a list of several studio owners to contact. So I talked to about 5 owners and asked all kinds of questions, and I got realistic answers. The business is different for everybody, but the main consensus was that Robert's plan for how to break into the home video studio kind of business is real and it works, and people can be very successful. The other 2 things I noticed were people were very happy with what they were doing. Sorry about the noise on my phone there. The people were very happy with what they were doing as their new career, but also that there was a huge, well, a couple things. There was, of course, the support that they were getting from the other studio owners, and also from Robert, and I guess we'll call it the central office, and also just the camaraderie with other studio owners. So they called themselves a family, and I wasn't really sure as how much of a family that was, but within, I guess, about 2 or 3 weeks of actually initially talking to Robert, we made an arrangement for my wife and I to visit and to do a show and tell Saturday at Robert's studio in his home. And that same day, we made the decision, and I purchased a studio. So it took a few months to get everything all situated and equipment ordered and put together. But the support was very, very good. I went and did what's called basic training again at Robert's studio and learned all kinds of things. Part of what I knew, of course, was all the technology, but didn't really have an idea about the business sense, about how to do, you know, accounting measures and all the ways that talk to people on the phone, and how to actually arrange for the business and advertise and market. So all that stuff was very helpful for me. So my studio's now been open since early 2018, so like 2.5 years into it, and business is great. You know, the last few months have been stellar, and it's almost as if I have to turn away business. So I've been very busy trying to keep up with the projects that I'm getting in. I've met so many interesting customers. They have so much. You'd think that at this point in the game that videotapes would be gone, or that everyone's home movies had been transferred, but that's not the case. There's just so much media still out there, and people are so glad to find someone who can help them. So another thing that I really like doing is video projects, video editing. So just recently, Home Video Studio had its summer, we'll call it a summer getaway, even though it was kind of virtual. And we have an award show, and I see the image right there on the screen is Mike Bartlett and myself from last year accepting a Hanley Award. That was for a video that we created at last year's getaway. But this year I helped a person edit a documentary about diving for, you know, and experimenting sharks in the Bahamas. And so we created this documentary together. He edited with me, or I edited with him in my studio. And that particular production actually won 2 Hanleys. It won Hanleys this last, I guess, about a week and a half ago. One was for being the best documentary of the studios that had entered that category. And the other one was for an authoring kind of system, kind of like a table of contents for the video that is up on what's called Digital Video Archive. So you get great satisfaction if you want to do editing projects. You help people maintain and preserve and archive the media that they've done through the years or captured through the years, and it's a happy business. I would say that the stress has gone way down from my previous occupation of being a physician, and now of course I'm in business for myself. I have chosen to do my business out of my home, so that works really well. And like I said, it's a very nice second occupation. It is very rewarding. I guess there's actually awards that come with it that I've been lucky enough to obtain as well. But I would say that we do have a great family of owners and Robert who can help you out along the way. And for me, it was a very good decision, and I'm so glad I've done it. Obviously, the individual has a lot to do with it, your personality and how you relate to people and how motivated you are. But I was fortunate enough, actually, in fact, to be, during my first year, the Rookie of the Year, and that's an exciting award by itself. And so I had that award, plus also a Best Rookie Video for my first year. The second year, Mike and I produced a video like we talked about, and that one was called the Backlot Video. That's the category. And last year, amongst all the categories, perhaps there were like 18, 19 categories, it was actually judged to be the top production of the year. So it was like the president's best of show. So we were amazed at that. But how did I progress from that? It has to do with the support that's available. Yes, I knew the technology, but I didn't know necessarily the best equipment to purchase, how to actually run the business itself, and who you can run to or who you can ask for technical advice and just business advice. There's a lot of experience as far as how to market, how to advertise, how to talk on the phone, how to sell things, how to price your products. And, certainly one could open a business by themselves. And I've seen, multiple little ads on Facebook saying, hey, I can copy your videotapes for this amount of money. Please send me your business. But it's really not the same. The quality of what we produce with the equipment and the expertise that we have available to us is just unmatched. And one of the things I guess I told my wife in trying to convince her about the studio is that yes, I would love to get more proficient on editing and even shooting productions, but if you don't have the content, you don't really get the experience. So one of the nice things about this is people bring you the content. For the shark documentary, I provided nothing. The person had all of his GoPro and camera footage. He even did voiceovers. We would produce a segment, and I'd send him home with the segment saying, "Hey, this is the time frame you have to say what you want to say during this 1 minute and 5 seconds." So he came back with his finished narration, and we added it into the video. And so he provided the content, and I learned the skills, or have the skills now, to be able to edit together a video that's very watchable, and it looks, we'll say, semi-professional. I'm not saying I'm at the category of some of the studio owners, but I'm very proud of what I've been able to produce.